Leadership is a learned skill. Welcome to episode number 3. In today's episode, I'll be showing you how you can become a walking billboard for your desires so that you can start getting the recognition you deserve and finally make a bigger impact at your organization today.
Welcome to Maximize Your Career with Stacy Mayer, a podcast about achieving your career goals while also being yourself.
Welcome back to another episode of Maximize Your Career. I am Stacy Mayer, a coach for corporate managers who want to get promoted into upper-level leadership positions. This podcast has been such a great way for me to share with you what is actually working for my one-on-one clients, and I hope you are getting a lot out of it. Speaking of, since we are a newer podcast, it is even more important that you take this opportunity to write a review. Click on the stars. Even if it's just 1 or 2 sentences that you share with us that lets others know what you are learning from this podcast, what you are applying, and where you feel motivated to do more. So today we are going to talk about bragging. If you are like most managers I meet, you hate talking about yourself. You avoid talking about what's working. You see other people get ahead and you think that the only reason is because they are showboaters. They're constantly talking about how great their team is, how amazing they are, and they never seem to talk about what is not working. Now, let's take a minute to get real with yourself. You are totally judging them. You think they are only out for themselves, and you are not at all like them because you are a realist. You only talk about the facts. They are fake. You are not. So you start to get angry, frustrated, and annoyed that they get ahead and you don't. Now, I want to first acknowledge that your pragmatism is what got you where you are today. It's why you get such high remarks on your performance reviews. It's why the most common feedback you receive is, "We can always trust you to get the job done." Sound familiar? I bet. So, why are you still so frustrated? What is it that you wish was happening? Instead of being called dependable, what feedback do you wish you were receiving? Is it feedback that you are smart? Feedback that you have great ideas? You wish they would pull you aside in the hallway and ask for your opinion, not to just tell you to do something. Imagine your vice president calls you at 2 a.m, not because she needs you to do something for her, but because she wants to run something by you. Ooh, that would feel so good. That is where you want to be. You want your opinions to matter. You want your team to matter. You want to be seen as both capable and smart. There's a common saying in women's leadership circles that men are judged based on their potential and women are judged based on their past performance. And this is not just a saying, it's also well researched. But what I like to do with these type of statistics is to study it and see how it applies to all managers, especially those managers that are not being judged based on their potential, regardless of gender, and figure out why is that happening. Ask yourself, was there ever a time when you were judged based on your potential? Think about it. I bet it probably happened when you were in your 20s. People love giving career advice to 20-year-olds. You know, like, "I think you'd be a great engineer. Have you ever thought about that?" And then you say to yourself, "Sure, why not? I'll give it a try." Or what about when you first became a manager? Did someone pick you out of the engineering track and say, "Ooh, you know what? I think you'd make a really great manager." And you said, "Sure, why not? It seems like the next logical step." But what's happening now? Nobody seems to be offering you advice anymore based on your potential. They are offering you advice based on your limitations. Let me say that again. People are offering you advice based on your limitations. You must know that is where they are coming from, or you'll never be able to actually do anything about it. You'll always feel frustrated. You'll always feel stuck, and you will never feel like your opinions actually matter. So what are other people telling you now? They're telling you things like, slow down, take it easy, don't work so hard. Why is that? Number one, it's because of their own crap. They want to slow down. They don't want to work so hard. They want to phone in their days until retirement. So this is their point of view. It's not yours. Number two, it could be because they care about you. They see how tired you are from running around with your kids all day or your family. They see how hard you work. They know that as we get older, we don't recover as fast. So they're trying to protect you. Or number three, it's because they don't know what you want or need. There is a national epidemic that we are told to slow down in our 40s, and I am here to break that myth. So here is what I think. I think that this is the perfect time for you to go for it in your career. You have wisdom now that you did not have in your 20s. You know how to make decisions. You know how to bounce back from a mistake. You know how to strive for something bigger. And most importantly, you know how to think smarter. We don't have to exhaust ourselves to get to a higher level. In fact, it's just the opposite. Playing smarter means getting other people to work for you. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. You are going to learn how to brag without being like that coworker who's always bragging about how amazing he is just to get ahead. You are going to learn how to speak about your accomplishment in a way that feels natural, conversational, and 100% realistic. And just like your coworker who always gets ahead by bragging, you are going to finally get ahead too. Other people are going to start working for you, but not because you're being inauthentic and showboating, but in a way that feels authentic and true to yourself. Sound good? I'm going to show you how to become a walking billboard for your desires and love it. Other people know what you want and that they can help you get there. Imagine if your 40s could be just like your 20s. People telling you what you should do in a way that actually advances your career, not stalls it. People recommending you for opportunities. People asking you to do things that actually use your brain and aren't just more work to do. This is totally possible. But we aren't 20-year-olds anymore. Nobody is walking around telling us, you know what you should do? So we have to grow up and go out and get that information and get them to work for us ourselves. Here's an example. I have a client named Kat. Everybody loves Kat. Seriously, she is amazing. She had been at the same company for 20 years, but was starting to feel the urge to do something more. So she reached out for coaching. As part of the one-on-one coaching, I interviewed some of her stakeholders. This is how I learned something interesting. Everybody, and I mean everybody I spoke with, loved her. But nobody knew exactly what she wanted. They didn't know what she wanted out of her career. So, of course, Kat felt lost and confused. Nobody was telling her what to do next. But after a little digging, she learned that people really did want to help her succeed. So she buckled down, found a way to start sharing her goals with people. She worked harder to get people to see her ideas. She started speaking up before someone asked for her opinion. And within just 2 months of working together, she was promoted into a higher level position. She received a 12% pay increase, and now she has the opportunity to grow in a different department. This is how fast it can happen for you too. So this is the process that I created called becoming a walking billboard for your desires. And I'm going to share all of that process with you today. It starts with 3 simple steps. Number 1, know what you want. Number 2, imagine what it would be like if you already had that position. And number 3, start sharing that desire with people. So number 1, what do you want? This is where many of you might get stuck. You don't even know what you want. So how could you possibly start sharing it with people? You just tell people things like, I want to get ahead, or I hope for a promotion, or you think that it should just be obvious that you want a promotion. So I want you to take a step back and spend some time here. Think about it, but also keep it super, super simple. Where do you actually see yourself in 3 years? Don't be shy. What would you do if you weren't afraid? I know a woman who just blurted out, I want to be CEO. I got on the phone with her and she just said, I want to be CEO, and then started busting out laughing because it was the first time she had ever mentioned to herself, not to mention somebody else, that that's actually what she wanted. So ask yourself, regardless of your current situation, your current boss, your current company, your current title, what level of responsibility do you actually want to see yourself at in 3 years? So let's just say you want to be vice president of human resources. We can assume that that's a 3-year goal because I have no idea where you're actually at right now, but let's just say 3 years. And by the way, I keep saying 3 years, but really if you start implementing what I'm about to teach you, you can cut that time in half. So that would mean you could be a vice president in just a year and a half. Seriously, half the time. This stuff works super quick. So first of all, claim what it is that you want, what your vision is, and keep it super simple. So now you have that goal, you have your vision, you know where you see yourself somewhere in the future, a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. And then number 2, you need to think about yourself in that position. So if you actually were the vice president of human resources today, so now we're going to do a little visualization. So how would you be showing up at work? What conversations would you be having? Who would you be meeting with on a regular basis? What support systems would you have in place? Mentors, sponsors? What strategic level conversations would you be having? That's the first place to start. It will make it so much easier to begin having those higher level development conversations if you think about where you want to be rather than where you actually are. And my goal is to get you to a place where those conversations just feel natural. So this is a way that it can just feel normal. It can just feel like a normal part of your life. And I'm going to show you in a minute how you actually have those conversations. But this is the first place. Just get super real. How would I be showing up differently if I already was a vice president? How would I be showing up differently if I already understood the strategy and the direction that the organization was taking on a higher level? How would I be showing up differently? Would I be speaking up in meetings? Would I be pulling people aside in the hallway? Would I be delegating more work? Why wait? Seriously, you can already start doing this now. And this is how. Now, number 3, you're going to start sharing what it is that you actually want. And this gets super tricky. This is where all of a sudden very strong, outspoken, powerful managers tend to clam up. It makes sense. You don't want to come off rude or self-serving or boastful, just like that coworker from the beginning, right? That person that always seems to be in for themselves and not looking out for their team. That person that always has like a positive view or positive spin on everything, but isn't able to actually see what all the problems is. Because that is not you. That would not be being authentic. And I get it. It's hard to speak up. It's difficult to ask for what you want. This is a skill. This is a skill that you must learn and you must cultivate, and then you can actually do it. And guess what? You can do it now. You must do it now. Here's how. You know what you want. You have spent some time thinking about how you would behave if you already had that role. And now all you have to do is start sharing that vision with others in a way that's not bragging or self-serving and actually gets others people to work for you. And this is the way that you're going to be able to do it. This is it. Know your audience. Know who you are speaking with and exactly what they need to hear from you. Is the person that you are speaking with a mentor, a sponsor, a boss? Or are they a peer or a member of the leadership team? Or are they a stranger or somebody that you meet casually at networking events? You must know exactly who they are and what they want to hear from you. That is going to allow you to start to become a walking billboard for your desires. Now, I'm not naive. You could know all this stuff already. You could already know, like, I know, I just need to come up with my vision. I know, I just need to share it with people. But you're still not doing it. So there are lots of reasons for that. First, and I want to be clear that these steps all happen in order. You can't start talking about what you want and if you don't actually know what you want. You have to spend the time to truly create your vision for yourself. And then you have to see how that vision applies to the organization. And then it just becomes more and more effortless. So ask yourself, where does your belief break down? Which part of this process? And start there. Is it your vision? Then go there first. If you don't know your vision, you can't tell people. If you don't know how you would behave differently if you actually had that role, you can't start behaving differently today. But once you get step 1 and step 2 down, then I invite you to just go out there and start bragging. I guarantee you the limitations and the feeling that you have that you're going to come off as self-serving is more in your head than it's actually in other people, especially if you keep in mind who your audience is and what they want to hear. They'll get it. They'll hear it. And they will start helping you actually get there. So you can finally begin receiving opportunities based on your potential and not your past performance. Other people will work for you, and you can start to make that bigger impact today, not 3 years from now, not even a year and a half from now. You will start enjoying your work. You will start feeling motivated, more focused, and more inspired to get there. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Maximize Your Career. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye. If you are looking to make it to the executive level, but you're not sure exactly how to go about getting there, then I invite you to sign up for a free discovery call with me. In this call, we're going to get super clear on all the ways that you're holding yourself back from getting ahead in your career, how other people are keeping you from getting ahead in your career, and exactly what steps you need to take to get there. Then if it seems like a good fit, then I'll tell you all about my Leadership Leap one-on-one coaching program, and we can get you started to making a bigger impact at your organization today. Sign up at stacymayer.com/apply. That's Stacy, STACYMAYER.com/apply. See you there.